Welcome back to the home studios here in Huntington Station, New York. My name is Chris Strub from teamstrub.com, facebook.com/teamstrub. Today, I'm going to take you inside Instagram stories and answer a popular question that I know that you've been asking, which is how to use questions on Instagram stories. If you enjoy this content, I very highly encourage you to go to our sponsor, which is learnigstories.com. That's learnigstories.com. You can get my course where I show you all the different features of Instagram stories and explain to you how you can commingle them together to create some really awesome, engaging, interesting, and exciting, valuable content for your brand. Let's get started here. So we're on Instagram now. We're on our home screen. We see this lovely photo of my pals, Amy and Caitlin, out there in New Mexico. So what I'm going to do to get to Instagram stories is I'm going to swipe right. There you go. I'm swiping right on you ladies, Amy and Caitlin. There you go. And now you can see that I'm just going to create a little bit of content here on my phone by holding down this button here to record. So what I'm going to do is hold down this button. And I'm going to record just a quick little video. So here you go. The second most common question on Google about Instagram stories, how to use questions. So how can you use questions on Instagram stories? Okay, you saw we held down the button there. I'm just going to swipe around a little bit, see if I can make myself look a little better. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So we'll swipe around. I need that butter filter. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna go with Melbourne. Shout out to my Australian friends here. Now I'm gonna go up to the top of the screen. I'm gonna tap the button, not the chain link, but the second button from the left there, that little square smiley face. I'm going to tap this little square smiley face, and you're going to see in the bottom right-hand corner there, it says questions. So all I'm going to do is tap questions, and it's going to prompt me to type in a question. Now, if I don't type in a question, right? If I don't type in a question, I just tap out of it, it's going to bring up this prompt that says, ask me a question. Ask me a question. Now I can move this prompt around. Now, I am confined by the sides of the screen and by the guides. So if I try and move this off the sides of the screen, and again, if you want to know more about the guides, if you want to know how to use content off the sides of the screen, well, you want to go to learnigstories.com. I talk all about this. But I can resize this box. That's as big as it'll go. Again, I want that centered there. And if I want to ask my audience a specific question, I could type in something like, what questions do you have about Instagram stories? Question mark, right? And then of course it says viewers respond here, so I can't change the text in there, right? So if I want to ask my audience a specific question, I can do that. And then when my audience answers that question, I'm going to show you exactly how that works here in just a second. I'm going to be able to see all of their responses in the analytics. So we're not just asking an open-ended question and hoping. We're not just throwing this question into the ether. We actually are going to give the audience an opportunity for 24 hours to answer this particular question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my story. Actually, I'm going to add a GIF on there first. Let's add a GIF. Question. All right, so I'm going to add a cute little question mark GIF. Okay, and if you want to know more about how to add GIFs and add colors and add the time and tag your location and all those things, again, I want you to go to learnigstories.com. I talk through all of it in this interactive fashion where I'll show you exactly how to do each one of those things step by step. But for now, I'm just going to add this to my story. And now what I'm going to do, after I double tap Caitlin and Amy there, is I'm going to go to another account. So I'm going to go to my 50 States, 100 Days account. Okay. And now you see my story up there at the top of the screen. You see the example that I posted on the first video I did today, which was an open-ended idea about how to create Instagram stories. Oh, whoops. I actually have to go back to my original profile just for a second. And upload this. Sometimes if you switch profiles too quickly, your story won't upload. So that's what we got to do here real quick. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so that's there now. So now I'm going to switch back to my 50 States 100 Days account. I'm going to go to my story. And now you see here, just posted 53 seconds ago. What questions do you have about Instagram stories? Now, because I'm viewing this as another user, I can type in the box. And you see at the bottom of the screen, Chris Strub will see your response and can share it. So what questions do you have about Instagram stories? I know that one of the answers is how can I create Instagram stories highlights? And then I'm going to hit send. Okay. So I swipe down to get out of this. Swipe down. I'm going to switch back to the Chris Strub account. And now when I go back to my stories, okay, I can see that this was posted 19 minutes ago. And now on the second part of this, I see that the story was seen by one account, just me. But when I go here to the bottom of the screen and I pull up the responses, so let's do that for you one more time. I'm looking at the screen. I click the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. That's going to show me the analytics as to who has seen this story. As you can see, it's only 50 States, 100 Days that has seen the story so far because I posted it about a minute ago. But now when I tap that answer, it gives me a prompt to either share the response or delete it. Now I'm going to hit share response. And now it's going to bring up that answer on top of the camera. And I can actually slide this around off the screen. I can make it real big. So I can use this just like any other piece of a story. Not a real flattering angle there, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to put this at the top of the screen. I'm going to position it there. So now what I would do with this content, with this answer that I have, is I could record an answer right back to the person who answered it. Now I could either, so let's do that real quick. Hey Chris, great question. How can I create Instagram stories highlights? I'm actually busy creating a YouTube video for you right now. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Chris Strub, and I'll get you that answer right away. Okay, I have this piece of content filmed. I can still move this around, but you can see that I kind of staged it where I knew that that was going to be at the top of my screen. I can again use the filters to try and make myself look a little bit more presentable. I can add text and stuff to this. So youtube.com/Chris Strub, right? And I can make that red and make it really stand out. Make it stand out there. Put that red on there. Right? And then I'm going to put, of course, learnigstories.com, because that is where you can go to learn all of this stuff without having to tap around, without having to wait for Chris to post more videos, without having to search all over the place. If you want to learn Instagram stories like a pro, you're going to go to learnigstories.com. You're going to get that course right away. And now what I can do is either respond directly. So if I go to send to, I can send that directly to that person, which would be 50 States, 100 Days. I don't see 50 States, 100 Days on there, so I'd have to go to 50 States, right? And if I wanted to add it to my story, I could just click share to your story, and now that's shared. I click done. And there it is. And now, me answering that question is part of the story as well. Now, as you can imagine, there's many, many, many different ways to use questions on your Instagram story. Imagine all the different possibilities. You can, of course, also do something like this. I'm going to put another question on here and say, ask me anything. Make that real big. And now, instead of me asking my audience a question, now I'm asking them to ask me a question, which would give me even more opportunity to answer the questions that the audience has. And of course, answering your audience's question, answering the questions of the people who are paying attention to you is going to be the most valuable, one of the most valuable things that you can possibly do on any social media channel or really anything in your business. This is the Marcus Sheridan strategy, right? They ask, you answer. This is a great, great way to do that on Instagram stories. So if I wanted to add that to my story, again, I would just tap the plus button at the bottom and I would add that to my Instagram story. In fact, I'm going to discard that. I'm not going to add that in for now, but I wanted to say thank you for tuning in. If you want to learn more about how to use all of these different features of Instagram stories all cohesively, go to learnigstories.com. I walk you through with more than 2 hours of video training to show you how all of the different features of Instagram stories play together, where you can create a really awesome, cohesive story on an ongoing basis and really hook that attention of your audience to help build your business and your brand. I'll see you back here real soon for the next question in our series. See you at learnigstories.com. Of course, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Strub.